introduce you to our products, the technology, right? Some stories about how well our product's working, and then also introduce you to our rewards and revenue program, and talk about how we can make money and how you can get paid. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive in. Again, my name is Julian. I've been here with Riman for the last 2 years now. Just celebrated my 2-year anniversary here with Riman in October. And to say that Riman changed my life is an understatement. And here's my invitation to you. My invitation to you is in the next 45 minutes to really pay close attention and keep an open mind, right? You see, your mind is like a parachute. It only works if it's open. And the reason why I encourage you to keep an open mind is because you have no idea how much a simple yes can change your life. You see, prior to getting started in Riman, I wasn't looking for an opportunity. I didn't think I needed an opportunity, right? I built a very, very successful career teaching boxing-inspired fitness classes for a huge billion-dollar brand, selling out classes in studio. I also built a very, very successful career doing it digitally for brands like Lululemon and Meta and Exponential, right? And so I was making really good money, but deep down, there's something that was missing. And I knew it in the back of my mind. And thank God Riman came into my life, because Riman answered that, problem. And what that problem was this, growing up, I used to think that all I had to do was make money and that would solve everything. But the challenge was, where I was prior to Riman, I was making good money, but I didn't have the time. My wife was my girlfriend at the time. I love her to death. I was stressing like, man, how am I going to marry her? How am I going to propose? How am I going to get her the ring that she deserves? How am I going to give her that wedding? But more importantly than just getting proposed, more importantly than getting married, my fear is what happens after that, because I didn't want to have a life where my wife and I, right, we're like roommates. We see each other in the morning, right? We leave to work. We come home late at night, stressed and tired from our jobs, barely having any energy to pour into each other, right? To hopefully have dinner, maybe watch a little bit of Netflix. And then guess what? Hopefully on the weekend, we're not so tired from work that we can actually go out there and have a date, right? In reality, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever been in a relationship, right, married, you know what I'm talking about. Half the time, you're tired from the week, right? Saturday comes, right? You want to have a date, but what are you doing? You're running errands, right? Doing chores, right? To make up for the week of being at work. And then on Sunday, what happens? You just hate the fact that the next day is Monday, right? And I didn't want to live that life. And more importantly, when we have kids, I wanted to make sure that, I was not an absent father. And when I say absent father, here's what I mean, right? I don't want to be a dad that, goes to work, come home, barely has any energy to pour into his wife and his kids, misses his kids' games, their performances, right? I want to be there when my kids grow up. And for me, where I was at in the fitness career, I could provide that financially, but I couldn't provide that physically in terms of time. And so for me, I just thought, you know what, I'll figure that out later. But when I was introduced to Riman, my first exposure was actually a convention. It was over 3,000 people. And I was so blown away by everything that I saw, right? And this is going to be the same thing I'm going to share with you today, right? Everything from the heritage ingredients, right? The exclusive ingredients, the clean and gentle ingredients that doesn't disrupt your hormones, right? From that to the instant efficacy, how well the products work, how easy they are to talk about, how easy they are to demonstrate, and how fast you can show people results, right? And, from that, then you take a look at the affordability of it. Ladies and gentlemen, you and I both know that skincare can be very, very expensive, right? A lot of people are spending, $400 on a moisturizer. They're spending $150 on a cleanser. And when I saw how well our products worked, I was even more blown away by not how fast they work, how well they work, but how affordable it is. I mean, just imagine being able to get a whole set, a whole routine, a whole regimen, a ritual, right? 8 products, double cleansers, the booster, the serum, the moisturizer, right? All of that and more for less than the price of a moisturizer from a major brand, right? From a luxury brand like La Mer or Shiseido or whatever it is, right? So for me, that was the magic melting pot. And when I saw that was Korean skincare, it was game over. Why? Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, right, whether you're into Korean pop music or not, whether you're into Korean drama or not, one thing that we know for sure is K-pop sells out stadiums all around the world. K-drama breaks every streaming record. You take a look at Squid Games, K-pop Demon Hunters, broken records, right? One of the biggest performance. We just had Thanksgiving here in the United States, right? Because I know we have people from Canada on this call. We have people from Asia. And we just celebrated Thanksgiving. And you know what the biggest performance, the most talked about performance was, at the Thanksgiving parade this year, right? The Macy parade. It was them performing Golden, the K-pop Demon Hunter song. Can you imagine a Korean pop song from a Korean drama movie, animated movie, highlighting as a main performance in the Macy Thanksgiving parade? And you know what's behind all that? It's Korean skincare. It's K-beauty. And so what we have right now, what you're about to take a look at, is such a unique opportunity where we have great quality products, right? But not only do we have great quality products, but there's a demand already in existence for our products. Everybody's heard of Korean skincare, right? They know how effective it is, but the challenge is most people are not educated enough to know where to get it, what to buy, and how to sift through the noise. And today, I'm going to share with you how to sift through all that, and more importantly, how Riman is the defining difference, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about it. And, just to kind of go back to my story, 2 years of being in this company, I was blown away by all the things I just shared with you. And I got started and I got to work. I got on calls like this. I got on Zooms. I got on trainings. And there's a whole science and systems behind what we do that once you get involved, right, we're going to be able to share with you how to create massive success in a short period of time with the Riman business. And let me share with you, in 2 years of building this business, I've been able to triple the income I was making in my fitness career. And not only that, but I was able to propose to my wife, within 6 months of being in the business. I bought her dream engagement ring. We got married 6 months after that. I bought her dream car for her birthday. And what's amazing is now I can teach classes because I love it. Well, actually, really, I teach it because I love it and I get a bunch of endorsements that I don't want to get rid of. But I teach 2 classes a week. And the rest of the time, you know what I'm doing? I'm building Riman. I'm sharing Riman and I'm spending it with my wife, creating a life together, right? And so again, I don't know where you are in your life right now. I don't know what it is that you're looking for, but whatever you feel is missing, I promise you, Riman, if you pay close attention, can help you solve a lot of those, problems. Okay, so let's talk about it. Riman was established in Korea in 2018. It's a Korean skincare company. Now, what's great about Korean skincare is a lot of people today are looking for transparency and authenticity. And what's amazing is when you take a look at Korean skincare, our company's Korean. That's authentic and transparent. Most people who buy Korean skincare products in America, they're called Korean skincare because that's Korean-based ingredients in it, but a lot of it's manufactured in the US and manufactured in China, okay? Now, let's go ahead and move forward. Since Riman's been around, its first 3 years of business, we did $2.5 billion in revenue in 3 years, just out of Korea, right? We're close to $3 billion in revenue now, right? We're rated #1 K-beauty brand, right? And how great is that? Because if you're going to market a product, you want to market the #1 product. And here's what's amazing about that statistic. When we say we're the #1 rated K-beauty brand, what that means is out of all the Korean skincare products in Korea, we are the #1 exported product, right? Export a Korean skincare product from Korea. So what does that mean? Not only is there a demand, is there a supply, but there's a huge demand. And it's already proven that people want the product, they love the product, and are using the product. In fact, just to give you an idea, okay, Korea's population is about 55 million people, right? It's the size of Indiana, one of the United States 50 states, okay? Small country. Population 55 million. And you know what they're able to do in 3 years? They sold 40 million bottles of our moisturizer, just the moisturizer, 40 million bottles to a population of 55 million. Now, for me, I understand sales, I understand marketing, but what I appreciate is numbers, right? Because the proof's always in the pudding. Can you imagine a population of 55 million and selling over 40 million bottles of a product, right? It's huge. It means that, again, here's what's also amazing. In Korea, guess what? Korean skincare is the most competitive where? In Korea. So the fact that we can sift through all the noise, separate ourselves from the competition, already proves to the testament how great our product is. And so once they established themselves in Korea, they started looking globally. They launched in the United States and Canada March of 2023, right? I got started in October of that year. They launched Taiwan December of that year. And then Hong Kong last year, they launched in July, right? This year, a lot of great countries we opened up. Mexico, Singapore, Malaysia, we opened that in April, right? Just this past October, we opened up the Philippines, right? We opened up United Kingdom just in October. And this month, we're launching Japan. And that's just so far this year of 2025. Next year, we're already planning to open up several more countries. And here's what's amazing. Every country that we're opening up in, every country that we're doing business in, we've already done research, and these are the highest markets that has a demand for Korean skincare. So we're entering markets where there's already demand. We're just introducing them the #1 product, okay? And then next year, Italy, Spain, and Ireland. So what makes Riman so special? It all comes down to our 3 brands, okay? We have our ICD, which is our personal skincare line, premium skincare line. Then we have our Lab, that's our personal care and hair care line. And then we have our Lifting, which is our nutritional line. One thing that all 3 products have in common is our commitment to quality ingredients, okay? And so let me highlight a couple for you, okay? We have 2 main ingredients in our product. We call them our hero ingredients. It's what separates us from other companies, right? And it's what gives you the confidence to know that we're not another Me Too company, right? We didn't just buy this product from some other company and then put our label on it and resold it. Our company actually owns the whole process from growing the plant, the ingredients, to harvesting it, extracting it, to bottling it, labeling it, and shipping it, right? Our company owns the whole process. Now, there's 2 exclusive ingredients that we have, right? Number 1 is our Jeju Lava Energy Water. And again, why is that so significant? 1, our body's mostly made of water, right? It's all about absorption, right? And 2, 82% of all skincare products is made up of water. That's the main ingredient. But what most companies use is something called distilled water. Why? Because it's cheap and it's available. Well, in Korea, on Jeju Island, there's this beautiful island, right? It's kind of like the Hawaii. There's a volcano there. And imagine for over 400,000 years, water gets pulled into the mountain, filtered through all the rock, and through that process, right, it purifies itself, all of its impurities, and it infuses itself with essential minerals. So it's living water. That's why we call it energy water. And when you have skincare that has mineral supplementation, you know what you experience? More hydration, more skin nourishment, right? And guess what? This water is exclusive to our company. There's only 10 companies that has a contract to be able to use that water, and we're one of the 10. Okay. The second ingredient we have is something called the giant byungpul, right? It's our own version of what we call the byungpul plant. It's a very famous plant. It's also known as Centella asiatica. There's over 40 years of research. And in fact, when you hear plant-based Korean skincare, just know they copied us, because when we started, we used that plant. So other companies have Centella asiatica in it. In fact, a lot of products you buy in the US, they call themselves Korean skincare because it has that ingredient, right? Now, with us, we grew our own version of Centella asiatica on our smart form that I'm going to share with you in a little bit. And what's amazing is through the process, right, of growing it with the Jeju Lava Energy Water, that's what we used to water the plants. We use a very, very special, we don't use soil, we use sand, which is pretty cool because it traps the hydration in there. And what ended up happening was this Centella asiatica plant, which was before the size of a quarter, grew to the size of the palm of your hand. And with that, so did the efficacy of the ingredients, okay? Now, at the end of the day, let me share with you something. Ingredients are important, right? You know, quality ingredients are important, but you know what's equally important is absorption, right? And I learned that from the fitness industry because, again, you can spend a lot of money for high quality ingredients, vitamins, supplements, but if your body doesn't absorb it and just gets rid of it or just covers the surface and not gets to the root, then guess what? You're just spending money on expensive ingredients that your body can't even use. You see, Riman answers that problem by using something called nanoliposomal technology, right? We tapped into the pharmaceutical industry, right? And we tapped into what we call a microfluidizer. You see, the pharmaceutical industry, medical industry has been using it for years, right? On topical creams, steroids creams, right? And, you know, that's what allows the effects to happen because this microfluidizer, imagine, it runs the ingredients through the machine, breaks it down 40 times smaller, covers it in exosomes and liposomes, and what happens is it penetrates to the deepest layer of your skin. So where most skincare just covers the surface and acts as a band-aid, right? And fix the sink, if you will, what Riman does is go straight to the source and go straight to the well. And that's what creates the lasting result and such dramatic results is your skin is actually absorbing the ingredients, right? Letting it penetrate the deepest layer of their skin versus just covering up, you know, the outside surface like a band-aid, okay? But everything I just shared with you, I'm gonna show you a couple quick videos that's gonna go in more detail, okay, about what I just shared, okay? But before we do, let me show you our Riman campus. This is our state-of-the-art facility that we built on Jeju Island. As you can see, our commitment is to the environment. Our commitment is to clean and gentle, right? We have a solar power station where we draw our energy from. Our Riman Smart Farm, our Byungpul Lab, that's where we extract everything from the Centella asiatica. Our Jeju Lava Water Center, that's where water is pulled, right, from the volcano, right, and everything like that. And then Ask Base, which is one of the most advanced research and development facilities in the world. And that combined is what creates our Riman campus, where we control the whole process from plant, right, to bottle to delivery to your face, okay, which is Great. Now, just to give you an idea what the Riman Smart Farm looks like, I know this past October, a lot of the directors and higher and a lot of the team leaders in a lot of the new markets that we opened up got a chance to go to Jeju Island, and they got a chance to visit the Riman Smart Farm. So this just gives you an idea. State-of-the-art facility. If you look at the bottom middle corner, bottom left in the middle, you can see the Centella Asiatica. The one on the right, that's the normal plant. The one on the left, that's the one that we grew. And let me also share with you, that plant that we grew, that grew 4 times larger, right? We also own the patents to that plant, which means no other company can grow that plant. And that's just our commitment. And that's what's amazing about it. So when I saw that, I was very impressed that, you know, the company didn't outsource any of the work anywhere else. They wanted to control the quality in-house. And I just saw their commitment to it. And again, the exclusivity is what gives me confidence that I can go out there and market and share a business and not have to worry about copycats or competition, right? And on top of that, a little side note, on Jeju Island, they also built something called Riman Village. And the owners wanted to create something to give back and also to take care of the people that build the business. You see, our owners understand if we take care of the people that build the business will take care of itself. So on Riman Village, they built 9 villas. And, you know, they fly in all these different leaders. They allow them to have tours of the facilities. But more importantly, they stay at this Riman Village. They're state-of-the-art. It's almost like technological-wise, it's designed by Tesla and Apple, right? That's how technological, it's like a smart house. But like aesthetically inside, the way it's designed from the furniture and everything, it's like Coco Chanel designed it, Tom Ford designed it. And why do I share that with you? You know, people say don't judge a book by its cover, but you know, that's in fact, that's what we always do. In fact, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have bought products that did not satisfy you, that let you down because you bought into marketing or you bought into brand names, right? And now you have a cupboard full of products that you didn't finish, right? That you're not satisfied with. But our company understands, hey, marketing is just as important as great quality products. Details, packaging is just as important, right? So we marriage the two, right? Versus picking just one, okay? So let me show you this quick video. It'll highlight everything I just shared with you.
Evolution. Some evolutions, through countless attempts, completely surpass the previous generation, demonstrating their superiority. This process gives rise to a new species, a giant soldier infused with the mysterious energy of Jeju lava. The original source of energy, the light body, evolves through multiple iterations. Until Doan.
All right, so a couple key things I want to talk about this video. Number one, that gentleman that you just saw on the screen right now, his name is Wong Bin. He's 50 years old. He's one of the top actors, right, or Korean idols, what they call it, in Korea. In fact, the highest grossing film to ever come out of Korea, some of you have probably heard of it, seen it on Netflix, some of you probably even watched it. It's called The Man from Nowhere. The #1 highest producing movie, and he was the main character, main star. In fact, just to kind of contextualize it, Wong Bin is equivalent to like a George Clooney or Brad Pitt here in America, right? Very, very classy, very, very elegant, doesn't just attach his name just to anything. And in fact, their names are almost like brands in itself. And so for him to attach his name to Insilderm and to Riman is incredibly huge, right? So that lent a lot of credibility to us because, you know, when you're someone of that status, that stature, you're not just going to attach your name just to anything. So it's huge, okay? So let me move forward. Okay, so let's dive deeper into the products, okay? So as I mentioned earlier, our premium skincare line is Insilderm, right? ICD. It stands for In-Cellular Dermatology. So it's in the name. Our products, right, penetrate to the cellular level of your skin, okay? And what happens is with our products, simple philosophy of cleanse, hydrate, and protect. Now there's 2 lines in our ICD line. There's the signature line, right, which is more water-based. And then there's the advanced line, right? The Radium Sun 100, and that's more oil-based, not to be confused with dry or oily skin, okay? Now, what is the difference between the two? It's really, number one, preference, what you're looking to achieve. And for some people, it's texture and environment. I actually use both. Depends on my schedule. If I need to, when I wake up in the morning, if I need to leave really quick, I just use the expert line, right? If I have more time, I use the advanced line, right? To allow it to absorb in my face. But no matter what happens at night, I always use the advanced line. Why? Because that's when your skin repairs itself the most. And what's amazing is when people use our products, right after the first use, one of the things they often mention is how hydrated their skin feels, how soft and smooth their skin feels. Now, what we also also hear from our clients after repeated use, right? Even up to a couple of days of using our products, they start noticing, right, their fine lines and wrinkles diminish. They notice their skin color evening out, hyperpigmentation being corrected, their skin being more vibrant, right? Having more color, more elasticity. And for a lot of us, that's what we're looking for. No one's looking to look older. No one's looking to have more wrinkles, right? And what's amazing about our products is we give you that youthful look back. We're reversing, the clock, right? And in fact, I like to tell people we don't really have skincare. What we have is what we call skin repair, because that's what it does. It repairs your skin, right? Not temporarily, but permanently. And the more you use it, the stronger the effects are. Okay, so it's huge. Okay, so if you haven't used a product yet, definitely get your hands on the products, try it out, and you'll be a believer in yourself. In fact, I love negative and skeptical people, right? I love meeting them. Why? Because chances are, if you're negative or skeptical, you probably have more wrinkles than the average person, right? So when we use the products, you're gonna have better results. And not only that, but imagine the more skeptical you are and you become a believer, you're going to be some of our biggest promoters. And that's what ends up happening. That's why Riman has grown so fast, right? That's how we're able to expand in so many countries and do so well. It's because the products work and they work fast and they work well, okay? So moving on forward, we also have makeup, which just launched a couple of months ago. And again, with makeup, super huge, right? With the difference between our makeup, again, our makeup is actually infused with the same ingredients in our skincare. And imagine putting on makeup that actually repairs your face while you're wearing it, right? Our makeup's super light, easy to put on. What a lot of people say a lot of feedback that I hear from my customers is that with traditional makeup, they put it on to cover what they don't like about their face. It gets heavy, it gets itchy, and they can't wait to get home and take it off. Now, what people love about our makeup, it's so light, easy to put on. You don't have to constantly reapply it, right? And again, it's clean, it's natural, and repairs your skin. And you forget that it's there. And that's what's huge about it, right? Because people are now shifting. The average person is now becoming more aware, right, and conscientious of what they put in their body, what they put on their body. And no longer are people looking for a lot of these major brands, right, that are putting all these dangerous chemicals in their products that's disrupting your hormones, that's influencing your fertility, right? Nobody wants that, okay? And so they're now looking for cleaner options. And what's amazing about Riman is we provide that for people, right? Like I said, once you use it, you're going to be a believer, right? I love it. And now people say they wear makeup, with Riman, they now wear makeup not to cover up what they don't like about their face, because the things they don't like, the skincare repairs it. And now all they use is the makeup to highlight the things they love about their face. Imagine that. How cool is that, right? Then we have our Bota Lab. This is our personal care and hair care line. We have two exclusive ingredients in there. One's our Desert Cola for our hair care line. The other one is Swamel for our body care line, okay? Although both are different ingredients, both have very similarities, right? The similarities are, number one, exclusive to Riman, right? No other company has those ingredients. And number two, right? They clean your scalp, your body, right? For the hair care, it will clean your scalp and your hair. The body care will clean your body, remove all the dirt and oils without damaging the skin, right? That's why so many of us are taught we shouldn't wash our hair too often because it removes the dirt and oil. But guess what? It dries out our scalp, right? That's why we get, psoriasis gets so bad. We get really bad dandruff, all these different things. And, when people use our hair care line, what they notice is their scalp is so hydrated, their skin becomes more vibrant. And, I have to be careful how I say this, right? I can't make any claims, but what I can say is if you know anybody that's experiencing hair loss, our product can help them with that. One of the things that people notice using our hair care line is that it decreases the amount of hair loss they experience, not balding, but hair loss, right? When you're showering and then you're putting your shampoo and conditioner, you pull your hand away and then strands of hair comes out with you. That's what I'm talking about, right? You're going to experience less of that. And some people experience none of that, right, anymore. And not only that, but they also experience new hair growth as well, right? Spots that stop growing hair, new hair grows. And why is that? Because you're removing all the dirt that clogs the pores that has your hair fall out and prevents new hair from growing in, right? So huge. Our Swamel, same thing, removes all the dirt and oil, but when you get out, your skin is going to be silky smooth and moisturized, right? It's going to be great, okay? Then we have our Life thing. This is our nutritional line. And, just kind of share with you as a guy, the reason why I got started in Riman is not because I love skincare. I was looking for skincare. Okay, I got started in Riman because years ago, when I was 18 years old at a car meet, I met a young gentleman that was 22 years old, 4 years older than me, incredibly successful, driving a Lamborghini. At that time, the Lamborghini he had was $250,000. Okay. And I remember I was like so blown away because I've never seen somebody so young, right? Having so much success driving my dream car. Like I thought you'd be 30, 40 years old working, all this stuff. And I asked him, what do you do? Like, how do you afford this car? And you know, he shared to me and it changed my life forever. He says, what I do, how I make my money is I own my own business, right? And I go, okay, so be a business owner. And he goes, the next thing is what I market is I sell women's beauty products and women's fashion. And I laughed. I thought he was joking. And then he laughed at me. And he goes, no, I'm dead serious. And I go, but I thought if you start a business, like, shouldn't you be passionate? Shouldn't it be something you love, you're passionate about? He says, if you're passionate about and you love it, it will help. But one thing that we've noticed is what people love oftentimes is better off to being your hobby than your business. You see, the best businesses are where people are already spending money. And if people are already spending money, all you have to do is either introduce them a better product and they'll buy, right? Or offer them the same product, but at a more affordable price. If you do that, you'll win. And it was so simple that it clicked for me. And so when I saw Riman, I remember that conversation because how many people use skincare? How many people have a face? How many people want to look younger? How many people, want to slow down the aging process? Everybody. How many people wear makeup, right? Half the population. And how many people are looking for Korean skincare? So many. There's already in demand. So it brought me back to that. And that's why I got started in Riman, because I remember that because so many people are looking for these products, right? And so I share that with you because when I got started, I was not a person that used skincare. So I had no point of reference. So when I use Riman's products, I'm like, wow, my skin's so smooth, right? I love that glow. It's so soft. I love how everything smells. But I had nothing to compare it to. It's almost like being 18 years old and your first car is a Lamborghini. How do you know if it's a great car? Because you have nothing to compare it to, right? You just know it's great because everybody else tells you it's great. And so, where my belief came from was sharing it with so many other people and watching their lives change, their confidence shift. So for me, when I got started coming from the fitness background, right, Lifening was my safe product, right? Right? It was my safe product because I didn't have experience in skincare, so I didn't feel confident talking about it right away, right? But here's what's amazing. Two things I learned. Number one, you don't have to know how to explain everything. You just got to get good at getting people to try the products because the products, they'll do the work for you. And then all you have to do is just introduce them to whoever you're working with and that has the information and they'll be able to explain it to them, right? But for me, the nutrition line is what I started sharing with people, with all my clients, and it was a hit. Why is that? Because right now, people are understanding in the health and wellness space that your gut health is so incredibly important, right? Your gut is also known as your second brain. And people are now understanding that anxiety, depression, a lot of these, mental issues are actually rooted in gut health. Right? Your gut produces serotonin. That's what makes you feel happy. That's what makes you feel connected to other people. So when you take care of your gut, everything else changes. And also, in fact, a lot of the skin things that happens, like, that flares up, eczema, a lot of these different things, pimples, acne, is a result of rising cortisol, stress, right? And different imbalances in your hormone. Guess where all that's regulated? In your gut. Right? So with our Deep Talk Plus, it's a prebiotic, probiotic digestive enzyme, right? It uses natural psyllium husk fiber, right? With zinc, right? In traditional, psyllium husk, you put it into a glass, you shake it up, and it gets very gelatinous, kind of hard to drink. Ours is like little pellets, you swallow it like pills. And here's what happens. It expands in your stomach, in your small intestine, and it grabs onto all the waste that your body has not been able to let go of. I'm talking about the stuff that's been fermenting in your stomach since last Thanksgiving, maybe Thanksgiving 5 years ago. It strips all that and lets it go, right? And flushes everything out. This is probably the only product, right, where we don't ask for before and after picture results, right? We'll take your word for it. But what's great about using this product that people talk about is they notice, no more bloating, right? Their digestion's a lot better. It helps them with a lot of different other symptoms. I have people that have Crohn's disease, people that have hemorrhoids, right? And, this product has helped them out a lot. Irritable bowel syndrome. I know these are things that kind of uncomfortable for people to talk about, but these are real issues that people are dealing with every day. And in fact, the older we get, oftentimes the less we use the bathroom, right? And having a healthy bowel movement is incredibly important. So again, our Deep Talk Plus, one of my favorite products. I use it actually every day. Then we have the beauty collagen, right? Collagen is huge. We already understand that, right? It's probably one of the strongest proteins that we need in our body. It's the glue. And not just that, but a lot of times as we get older, a lot of the symptoms of old age is actually not from old age. It's from lack of collagen production, right? Think about this. What do most people complain about as they get older? Oh, my bones and joints hurt. My nails are brittle. My hair is breaking, right? all these different things, right? My skin is starting to sag, droop, whatever it is, because your body's not producing enough collagen. And so you got to supplement it. Now, not all collagens created the same, right? I used to market for a brand called Vital Proteins, right? I actually probably shouldn't have mentioned their name, but I used to market for them. And I stopped marketing for them because, when I found out the type of collagen they were using, your body's not really absorbing it, right? And so that experience allowed me to appreciate Riman so much more because number one, our beauty collagen is low molecular collagen peptides, right? Which is one of the fastest absorbing form of peptides you can take. And we use marine collagen, which is the best, highest quality, right, type of collagen you can use. Most companies use bovine collagen, right? We use marine collagen. And you know why most companies stay away from marine collagen? Not because it's expensive, but because it has a fishy taste, right? But it has the best results for you. Now with our product, our collagen, right, it comes this beautiful, this nice little shot, right? It tastes amazing, right? It has this fruity taste. And sometimes when you drink one, you're like, maybe, I kind of want to drink another one, right? It's not those kind of shots, right? You only need one, right? And it's filled with other things too, biotin, right? All this stuff. And it also has glutathione, which is one of the strongest, anti-inflammatory antioxidants you can get on the market. And not just that, but glutathione is also well known to actually help you repair your skin and fix hyperpigmentation, discoloration of your skin, even lightening it back to your natural skin color, which is great, okay? Super cool. And just to kind of share with you some before and after pictures of people who have used our products, the top left, this is, Miss MJ Kim, she's one of our top leaders here. You can see a huge difference in her skin, aging backwards, right? The bottom left one is a wild one. I mean, just look at it. After using our products, right, you can actually see the difference, right, in her skin. A lot of the fine lines and wrinkles are gone. Does that make sense? And you can see how much more collagen and elasticity her skin has again, right? Miss Christy Bellison's in the center. And again, we have so many testimonials, but you know what testimonial is the most important testimonial? It's your testimonial. And that's why we want to get your before and after picture as soon as possible because seeing is what? Believing, right? So let's go ahead and talk about the business part. Let's talk about how we make money, okay? So as you know, there's a traditional supply chain, how most businesses work, right? Brick and mortar is typically you have a company that's also the supplier, right? Then they sell it to a distributor, right? At a low cost. The distributor then raises the price, sells it to the wholesaler. Then the wholesaler raises the price and gives it to the retail shops. And then the retail shops in turn raise the price and pass it on to the customer, okay? Now, what our company wanted to, they understood if we went through the same process, our products are going to be extremely expensive, right? And it's going to be, as far as price, on the same level as products like Lemire, right? Dr. Obosh, right? And they understood like our product's so good, we don't want to gatekeep it. We want to make it available to as many people as possible. So they decided to do a high margin distribution business model for a couple reasons, right? One, our products are so great, but you have to use it to see the results. Now, if we just put our product on shelves, people are just going to walk by it and they're just going to buy brands they've heard of, brands that they've seen in magazines, whatever it is. What our company understood is the value is in people experiencing the product. So how do we get people to experience the product? What's the best way? Well, by getting people that are already passionate, by getting people that believe in the product to naturally go out there and share the products, right? Because guess what? People no longer trust companies. They trust people, right? So how do we do that? The company supplier, we are the middleman. And now there's different ways to market the product, okay? And I'll show you the 3 different ways. Number one is through online channels. This is the one that I was very, very familiar with, right? Working with Lululemon, Alo in the fitness industry with a lot of major brands. This is typically how it works, right? You become an influencer or a brand ambassador, right? You get your own code. And guess what? You make Instagram stories, you make Instagram posts, Facebook, whatever it is, your get ready with me, your daily routines, your IG reels, and then you just drop your link. And then what happens? Someone clicks your link or they copy your code, they go to the website, they order something, they put the code in and you get credit for it, right? That's typically how it works. But let me tell you the downside of that. What most people don't understand with influencer marketing is one, you either get paid per post, which is like very rare unless you're Kim Kardashian, right? So that's huge. And I'd rather not get paid per post. I'd rather get paid per purchase. I don't know about you, right? Would you rather get paid one time for something you post about the product, or would you rather get paid every time someone purchases a product from you? I think that's a lot better, right? And the second thing people don't tell you is a lot of times you get this code like Julian 10 that you have to enter in at checkout. Here's the challenge. The customer has to enter that in every single time for you to get credit. Let's just say they found you by accident and next month they use somebody else's code. That other person just got credit for your sale. Some companies will only give you credit for the sale on the first purchase, right? When I was doing stuff for Conor McGregor and I was an ambassador for his brand, that's how I got paid, right? I got paid every time on the first purchase of every time someone bought products from me. Now, let me show you how Riman works, which is so amazing. You can do all the same things that I just mentioned, but the difference is when you get a customer, right, they go to your website and they're actually going to going to enter their information just like they're buying it, but it creates their own customer portal and their own customer website for them. Now, here's what's amazing about that, right? Number one, as customers, they have their own website so they can track and manage their orders. You don't have to do that, right? And every time a customer orders product, they get 5% back that they can use for future purchases and discounts. But here's where the magic is for you and I. When a customer signs up on your website and they have their own website, that customer's coded you for life. They don't have to make sure they enter your code every single time. Now, for the life of the customer, every time they order product, you're gonna get paid. Now, here's what's exciting. I haven't even shown you this yet. Every time that customer reorders, you can actually get paid more as you move through the rewards and revenue program, which is super exciting, okay? So that's an online channel. Second is retail shops. If you know people that, own a med spa, they're beauty professionals, maybe they own a lash business, maybe they own a nail salon, a hair salon, right? This is a great way, if you know them, right, to get our products there to help them make an extra couple hundred to a couple $1,000s a month extra in profit, right? Adding it as a service. And then guess what? People who use the service, who love it, they can now become customers. Now, here's what's exciting, right? Imagine having a med spa, having their own account, having their own website. Let's just say a med spa in California, right, opens up, right? Their customer, right, goes and buys the product, creates their own customer account. Right? Now, let's just say that customer has, a cousin in Canada that just visited them for the holidays, sees the results, like, wow, your skin looks so good. Well, guess what? That cousin in Canada, right, can buy from the med spa website directly without ever going to the med spa. So now, guess what? Med spa's customers can now participate in helping them grow their business. Or you can also help the customers become planners themselves, right? Have them make money, but the med spa makes money as well. So it's huge. It's a different way of thinking. And it's so fantastic, right? Because we're putting more money in people's hands. The last is through traditional customers. You can do something, what we call a K pop-up. And that's like throwing a little, K pop-up, right? To demonstrate, showcase the products to a couple of friends, maybe a facial party, whatever it is. Very, very fun. And just getting people to try the products and educating them on it, right? So those are three of the typical ways that people use to market the products. And when they do that, people are making a lot of money doing so. So let me break it down to you, okay? Let me give you some numbers, okay? Now, this is the power of personal customers. This is a hypothetical, right? Now, let's just say the average customer, right? Let's just say your commissions, you can earn anywhere from 10 to 50% on your personal commissions. Now, in our rewards and revenue program, you're gonna get paid the most for what you personally do, but you're gonna get paid a little bit for what your whole team does, okay? For those of you that are in real estate, you already know how it works. Same thing. As a real estate agent, you make the most money when you sell a house. Now, if you're a real estate broker, what happens? You train other real estate agents. They sell a house. They get commission, but you get a smaller commission because you trained them, you supported them, right? Same exact thing. Now, if you're in the insurance industry, same exact thing, right? We're speaking your language, right? This is how a lot of people make money, okay? Now, with our company, let's just give you an example. Let's say you enroll 10 new customers a month, right? For 12 months, right? That average about 200 business points a month, right? By 50% commission, that's an extra $12,000 a month. Right? And here's what's crazy. Now, that sounds too good to be true. Let me share with you something. You just don't know how great life can be yet, right? Today is the 8th. Today, right, is December 8th. And already on December 8th, there are already people in the company that have already earned that for the month. They're already there for the month already. Right? And so that's what got me excited, right? Now, let's just say you went for it, but you failed 50% of the time. Let's just say you roll 5 new customers a month for 12 months, that average 200 business points a month at 50%, that's still an extra $6,000 a month. Would that help you or hurt you? What could you do with that? What difference could it make, right? Now, let's say you get 2.5 customers a month, still 3,000, right? But let's say you get 0 customers a month. It doesn't matter how much you get paid. If 0 customers get moved and 0 products get moved to the company, $0 being made. So again, customers are the name of the game, okay? So that's on personal effort. Now, what we have is something called the rewards and revenue program, where you meet certain requirements, you automatically move up and unlock more rewards, okay? And what those rewards are, is just more money, right? Which is great. And here's what's amazing. You can do it as fast or as slow as you want to do it, right? Now, when you get started, you can choose to get started either as a planner, manager, or senior manager. I'll share with you what that looks like in a little bit, right? The first 3 positions, you can hit it all through customers and all by yourself, okay? So when you get started, it's $20 to get started. That gives you access to your own website. It's kind of like your own Shopify that you can customize. You can edit, make it to your liking, right? You can track your business orders, your orders, commissions, everything, right? Now, when you do that, you start as a planner. As a planner, anytime someone buys from you or anytime you buy, you're going to earn 10% commission. That's just like being a regular influencer. That's what I got when I was marketing a lot of these brands, right? Every time someone used my code, I got 10%. Never more than that, okay? So already, I was like, this is cool. Now, what's amazing, 10%, okay? Now, if you introduce somebody to the business, right, you also earn commission, a little bit of commission on whatever they order. Now, what's amazing is, let's just say you do 3,000 in sales points in a 3-month period. Now, you might ask yourself, what are sales points, right? I want you to imagine out of $100, 90 of that is sales points, okay? It's just how we do the conversions just to make sure that everybody gets paid and everything's running, okay? So when you do 3,000 sales points in any consistent 3-month period, right? You now become a manager and your commissions double. You now earn anywhere from 20 to 30% commissions on whatever you personally buy, whatever you personally sell, and you have a 20% base commission, okay? So what does that mean? Anybody that you personally bring in, whatever they buy or whatever they sell, you're gonna earn a percentage off of that as well. Really, really great, right? Now, let's say you become a senior manager. How do you do that? Let's say you do 6,000 in sales points in a 3-month period, okay? You're now a senior manager. Your commissions triple. You're now earning 30 to 40% commission on whatever you personally sell, whatever you personally buy, right? You also earn a 25% base commission on people that you personally bring in, whatever they personally sell, whatever they personally buy, and also additional 5% unlimited on the teams that they build, everything like that, right? So it's huge. Okay. Now, those are the first 3 positions. Now, when you get team leader and higher, this is where you got to start building a team. This is where you got to start taking people with you, supporting with you. And chances are, the person that invited you on this call, the reason why they invited you is because you're someone that's sharp, someone that they want to do business with, someone that they see something in and they want to work with you, right? And not only that, but their success is tied to you. Because think about it, as a team leader, how do you become a team leader? You got to do 50,000 sales points in a 5-month period. And you have to help 3 people become senior manager. So now to move up and make more money, there's leadership requirements. When I saw this, I got excited. Why? Because at first, I believed in the company. I believed in the products. I just had to make sure that I was going to get help. I was going to get support. And when I saw this, I got fired up because what does it mean? It means that everybody above me, their success depends on me. That it's in their best interest for me to do well. And here's what I knew, that even though I didn't know how to do it, I was going to get trained. I was going to get help because if I didn't do well, they wouldn't do well. And for me, that's what fired me up. And you know what's exciting too? All these requirements, if you meet these requirements faster than the people above you, you'll actually make more money than them. You can actually move higher than them. And for me, that was huge. Why? Because at my job, at my normal job, I'll never make more money than my boss, right? I'll never make more money than their boss, right? And if I get promoted, I'm lucky, right? But I'll never get promoted to the top of the company and make the type of money that a lot of these presidents, vice presidents, CEOs are making. Here, it was the most fair thing I've ever seen. If I outwork somebody, I out-earn somebody. Right? It doesn't matter whether they're above me or below me. That's huge. But what's amazing is the same opportunity. If I bring in somebody and they're a rock star and they meet the requirements before I do, they'll make more money than me. And again, it's the most fair thing in the world. I love it. Okay. Now, this might look confusing, but we have a whole training system that'll teach you how to build the business, okay? So as I mentioned earlier, there's positions after director, right? There's certain requirements, right, to meet. And here's all you got to know, okay? Again, anywhere from 10 to 50% on what you personally do, depending on what position you're at. Open group, that's the differential pay that you're going to earn on people you personally introduce, anywhere from 5% to 30%, depending on what position you are. You're also going to earn something called a unilevel bonus, right? As your team grows, you're going to earn percentages, right? Percentages off of all the orders that come there. And then once you become a director and higher, you're also going to learn leadership override on your whole book of business. And you're also going to earn something called revenue share. Revenue share is so gangster, ladies and gentlemen. What is revenue share? Revenue share is now you getting a chance to earn a percentage and a piece of the global revenue that Riman does. So imagine that, right? And it doesn't matter what market. So you get to earn that. So how cool is that? You get to earn commission on business that you didn't even build. Why? Because it creates an environment of people helping people. And I just love that, right? Because, for me, I'm just used to being in environments where it's like dog eat dog. Everybody's looking out for themselves, right? It's really, everything's for the betterment of the individual. But when you have a rewards and revenue program like this, right? A lot of the focus and the mindset and the mentality and the culture is about the betterment of the group. When everybody does well, we all do well. And that's why the company's having so much success, the culture and the people, along with the products, like the perfect marriage, right? Let's talk about the unilevel, for example, right? Let's say you introduce 3 people to the business and they did the same thing as you, right? And it starts to grow. Let's say the average person, right, got 1,000 business points, right? So you do the math, right? Total, you would earn, just let's say you build 3 people and it duplicates, an extra $33,000 a month after month after month. And here's what's amazing. The average customer reorders 6 to 8 times a year. 6 to 8 times a year. So imagine getting a customer one time early in the year, and 6 to 8 times throughout the year, you get paid. Now here's what's amazing. If the first time you got them, they were a planner, you get 10%. If when they reordered, you're a manager, you get 20%. If the third time they reorder, you're a senior manager, you get 30%. If you're a team leader and then they reorder for the 4th time, you get 40%. That's what's amazing about it. So even though you got a customer a long time ago, you can actually end up earning more money as you unlock it through the revenue rewards program, right? Example 2, let's say you went after it, but you failed 90% of the time. That's still an extra $3,300 a month, right? Now, here's what's amazing. Let's say you're an overachiever. You double that number. That's extra 66,000. Why do we share this with you, right? Because guess what? There's something for everybody. You can build it at your own pace. You can build it slow. You can build it fast. You make a lot of money fast or slow, but it's available. For me, that was all that mattered, was that it was available. Because here's what I know. Whether it's $33,000 a month or $66,000 a month, where I was at, it was not available. Right? Me being a boxing fitness instructor, right? Teaching a studio, that was not available, right? Me filming for Lululemon Meta, that was not available. But it's available here. So why wouldn't I get excited? Why would I not give this a chance when I'm so committed to somewhere else where there is no chance, right? So that's what fired me up. Our company also throws so many different bonuses just to reward people, which is really great. So we have something called a 2026 Leadership Search Promotion. And here's all you know. With each and every planner you sponsor in December, right? If you help them hit team leader in their first 3 months, right? They earn an extra $2,500, right? Director, they earn $5,000 if they do it in 6 months. In 9 months, senior director, $7,500. National directors in a year, an extra $10,000 bonus, right? Sponsor someone in the month of December, help them achieve leadership ranks. And guess what? You're gonna earn up to $25,000 extra cash while you grow your team. How amazing is that? Just think about that. You helping your team get promoted, the company's gonna give you extra bonuses. I love that. That's like getting paid to brush your teeth. It's like you're getting bonuses for stuff you're supposed to do anyways, right? So to kind of wrap everything up, right? To get started, again, it's $20. We do have product packages in place. They're not required, but they're highly recommended. And the reason why is because, again, our products do the best when they get put on someone's face, right? This presentation I just shared with you, again, it's enough information for you to see it and you have enough rapport with the person that invited you. You can just get involved, get started, right? Super simple, right? But again, it's always more effective to experience the products. You want to have that. Think about it. We open a gas station, we need to have gas. A liquor store, we got to have liquor. So if we're going to have a skincare business, we should have products. And what I recommend is you want to have products, number 1, enough for you to use yourself in your household. Number 2, you want to have enough products to demonstrate, right? Because you don't want to take the products from your house and go use that to demonstrate in other people. And lastly, you want to have some products because some people want to buy the products right then and there. They don't want to go online and order it on their first purchase. Some people just want to buy it from you on the spot. You want to make sure you have it available so you don't lose that opportunity. So we have different packages available, okay? We have Starter Kit Premium 1 and Premium 2. Those are our 2 most popular packages. And I'll tell you why. If you look at the number, the SP, right? 1511, 1557. Notice those 2 numbers, right? What some people do, again, this is the best package to get because you get everything. And you also get double and triple of some of the flagship products, okay? Now, what I share with you is this. Some people, what they do is they buy 2 starter kits. It's over 3,000 SP, and guess what? They start as a manager. Or they buy 4 of these, and they start as a senior manager. Now, is that for everybody? No. Who's it for? It's for people that want to maximize the opportunity they have. They don't want to leave money on the table. That's for people that want to start at 20% commission or 30% commission versus 10% commission, right? So if that's you, talk to the person that brought you down, right? And get in where you fit in, okay? We also have Starter Kit Plus, right? Less products, you get double the flagship products, not triple, right? And then we also have an EX starter line. It's really for customers, $335. And what I tell people, hey, at the end of the day, at least become a customer. Our company has a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Use our products, right? Empty the whole bottle. You're dissatisfied. You can return it. The company will give you your money back. That's how much we believe in our products, okay?